at 1. At United Nations 80th General Assembly, President Tinubu advocates inclusive reform policies. Federal government issues flood warning across 15 states. And Commissioner of Police FCT visits local communities to strategize on security. Good day and glad to have you join us on the news at 1 p.m. on NTA Channel 5 Abuja. I am Mariam Abubakar Kada. The federal government has officially unveiled the theme for the 2025 independence anniversary. Nigeria at 65, all hands on deck for a greater nation. According to a statement by Segun Imohiosen, Director of Information and Public Relations at the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, the theme emphasizes the need for unity, collaboration, and patriotism among the public sector, private sector, civil society, and citizens to build a nation characterized by sustainable peace, prosperity, and progress. The statement highlights that since independence on October 1, 1960, Nigeria has navigated challenges and achieved notable advancements in various economic sectors. It calls for collective efforts to consolidate these gains and strive for loftier objectives, aiming to forge a powerful nation for all citizens to actualize the renewed hope agenda. Government activities and programs are expected to align with the official theme as part of activities marking the 65th independence anniversary. The following events will take place. Moving on, President Bola Tinubu has delivered a strongly worded reform policy proposal to the United Nations, warning that the global body must restructure or face irrelevance as world events increasingly bypass its influence. In his address to the UN General Assembly's 80th session, President Tinubu, represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima, warned that the UN's credibility is being undermined by the gulf between its words and its deeds, while positioning Nigeria's economic transformation as a model for developing nations. State House correspondent Abdulrahman Jibrila reports.
We are here to strengthen the prospects for peace, development and human rights. Madam President, I want to make 4 points today to outline how we can do this.
Outlining 4 key reform demands, starting with Nigeria's call for permanent UN Security Council membership, emphasizing Nigeria's transformation from a colony of 20 million people, absent from the tables where decisions were taken, to a sovereign nation of over 236 million, projected to be third most populous country in the world.
Nigeria must have a permanent seat in the UN Security Council. This should take place. This should take place as part of a wider process of institutional reform. 2. We need urgent action to promote sovereign debt relief and access to trade and financing. 3. Countries that host minerals must benefit from those minerals. And 4th, the digital divide must close. As our friend the Secretary General has said, AI must stand for Africa included.
Nigeria also a case of international critical issues, from nuclear disarmament to Security Council reform.
Nigeria's soldiers and civilians carry a proud legacy. We have participated in 51 out of 60 United Nations peacekeeping operations since our independence in 1960. We have stood with our partners in Africa to resolve conflicts, and we continue that commitment today through the multinational Joint Task Force. At home, we confront the scourge of insurgency we resolve from this long and difficult struggle with violent extremism. one truth stands clear.
Nigeria's national statement positioned Africa's natural resources as central to future global stability, emphasizing the need for African control over strategic minerals.
This is why we are not indifferent to the devastations of our neighbors near and distant. The attack on Qatar and the tensions that scar the world, but because our own bitter experience has taught us that such violence never ends where it begins.
Addressing Nigeria's ongoing economic transformation, from New York, Abraham Jibrila, NTA News.
About a week ago, kidnapping with lives of vigilante operatives on rescue response lost, as well as the kidnapping syndicate eliminated by security. Take advantage of shrubs, shanties, and cattle routes on the hills to ferry victims through Nyanya-Guadalape access to nearby forests. The Challenge Department undertook clearing of shanties around the area, giving cover to the kidnappers.
But if this particular road is fully opened up, is tarred, it will increase accessibility.
Forests have been cleared, and then all those shanties surrounding us, the security architecture of the area.
Commissioner of Police Ajao Saka Adewale, accompanied on the patrol by the Director, Development Control and Secretary, FCT Command and Control Center, intimated that the assessment is to enable him to...
They are physical structure set up to deter criminality. But intelligence, there's intelligence about individual occupying different space. You may not know the activity they are doing.
CP Ajao Saka hinted of plans to establish security presence through immediate deployment of relevant manpower and platforms to strengthen patrol and aid visibility to boost residents' confidence across the operational area. Onotu Yakubu, NTA News.
INEC has formally announced the commencement of political campaigns for the 2026 Federal Capital Territory Area Council's elections. Statement by National Commissioner and Chairman, Information and Voter Education Committee, Sam Olumeko, notes campaign activities by political parties start from Wednesday, September 24, 2025 and end at midnight on Thursday, February 19, 2026. 2 days before the election scheduled for Saturday, February 21, 2026. INEC, however, stressed the need for all political actors to be civil in their utterances and conduct. INEC offices across the 6 area councils of the FCT have continued to host prospective registrants on the ongoing continuous voter registration exercise. Ifoma Ojinta reports from the INEC FCT headquarters that residents are ensuring
already lining up outside INEC offices in the FCT, eager to register for the upcoming elections. The crowds are diverse, with first-time registrants, those seeking to replace damaged permanent voter cards, and others looking to update their polling units due to changes of address or transfer from other states. Despite the large turnout, residents are praising the Commission for a smooth process.
INEC is really trying, and what I can understand and observe that a lot of people want to vote now. People want their vote to count, and they've all come. It's only going to take a little patience, because when you want, the next person wants as well. So
FCT is taking steps to expand registration to the ward level, ensuring that those in rural areas are not left out.
We've had large turnouts. In fact, I didn't expect that we're going to have this much turnout, but because the election is coming, politicians, Nigerians generally, their residents are quite interested in registering.
According to INEC FCT Administrative Secretary Bimbo Oladujoye, this decentralization effort aims to prevent disenfranchisement.
The aged to pregnant women and people who look frail and don't look like they are really so strong. So we actually give considerations to them when they come for registration.
The continuous voter registration exercise at the ward level is expected to commence from the 29th of September to 8th of October 2025. Ifoma Ojinta, NTA News.
The federal government has warned of heavy rainfall and potential flooding across 15 states and 69 communities from September 24 to 28, 2025. This is contained in a statement from the Ministry of Environment's National Flood Early Warning Center. The advisory lists Adamawa, Anambra, Bayelsa, Borno, Delta, Edo, Imo, Kano, Katsina, Ondo, Oyo, Rivers, Sokoto, Taraba, and Zamfara at risk states. Communities such as Yola, Yanagwa, Wari, Benin City, Oguta, Kano, Jibia, Akure, Oyo, Ahuada, Shagari, Sarti, and Gusau are particularly vulnerable. Stakeholders are therefore advised to take preventive measures to protect lives and property. The ministry emphasized that the alert is part of its ongoing early warning system to reduce risk during the peak rainy season. Residents, local governments, and emergency response teams are advised to remain vigilant and implement precautionary measures. We will be taking a short break now. The news continues after this timeout.
Good evening, glad to have you join us.
Thanks for joining us on Weekly News Wrap.
Thank you very much for having me.
And it is on that note we welcome you to today's edition of the program.
I will celebrate creativity, lasting impressions.
There's no book stating that this is the role for men.
On the news.
On the news at 7.
Unity Station, NTA Channel 5, Abuja.
Would say have a lovely day.
Glad to have you back. Faith plays a vital role in the life of many, offering comfort, guidance, and purpose. People from various faith backgrounds, including Christianity, Islam, and traditional African spirituality, find solace in their beliefs. Correspondent Rosemary Motalin Bilal explores this topic further.
The word faith means different things to different people. According to clerics, faith gives hope and strength, reminding believers that a higher power is looking out for them, which brings peace.
Faith is what gives you access to salvation. So it's important. Faith is what delivers your miracles to you. It's important. Without faith, in fact, somebody says faith is what is the currency of heaven. Whatever you want to get from heaven, you need faith to be able to access it and get it.
They noted that while faith can be a source of comfort, it can also be a source of tension. Understanding the complexities of faith in Nigeria is crucial for promoting tolerance and peaceful coexistence.
Faith drives hope. When you have faith in God, you have hope. Hope for a better future, a better life, and of course, ultimately, eternal life. Every believer should have faith in God, have hope, and work hard, diligently. You will succeed.
What then are some possible ways for believers to embrace faith?
As a Christian, this having faith in God and not just, makes us a Christian by names, but it helps us in our relationship with God, because it is because of that faith that we have in God that we believe that He hears us whenever we call, and it is that faith that gives us the ability to know that we bear us.
Faith is very important to Christians because we trust in what God asks us to do. And then in the Bible, we have the do's and the don'ts. So faith is very important. When you trust in God, in God's words, when God says this is what you're supposed to do, and then we do. When the Bible says we should be salt and light of the world, we have faith that God will help us in His infinite mercy, in His faithfulness, to help us to be righteous. And then faith will help us in this country too.
For many Nigerians, faith is a way of life that shapes values, informs decisions, and fosters a sense of community.
It is time to join our foreign desk for the Globe this week.
After 60 decades, Syrian leader attends United Nations General Assembly. President Trump labels Russia as paper tiger, says Ukraine can win back territories from Russia. Doctors at Al-Shifa Hospital overwhelmed, and super tycoon Regasa kills dozens in eastern Taiwan. Hello and many thanks for joining me on this segment of Happenings Around the Globe. I am Serafina Okon. China has evacuated nearly 2 million people from the southern province of its country as super tycoon Regasa strikes. A month's worth of rain is expected in that province, down to the king of storms. It killed at least 17 people in Taiwan after a lake burst, causing severe flooding in the east. Geologists describe it as a tsunami from the mountains. Of a Category 5 Hurricane Regasa is the world's strongest storm in this year. For the South China Sea for days, bringing heavy rains and winds to the Philippines, Taiwan, Hong Kong, and southern China. President Donald Trump at the United Nations Assembly has made his point, saying Kyiv can actually win back all his territories from Russia, marking a major shift in his position on the war with Russia. He said Ukraine could get back the original borders from where this war started with the support of Europe and NATO due to pressures on Russia's economy. His comments came after talks with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky held after Trump had addressed the UN General Assembly in New York. Trump has repeatedly expressed his desire to end the war, but has previously warned that the process could likely involve Ukraine giving up some territories, an outcome Zelensky has consistently rejected. Trump added Ukraine could maybe even go further than that, but did not specify what he was referring to. He also made no reference to Crimea, which was invaded and annexed by Russia in 2014. Russia launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022. Trump said his position had changed after getting to know the fully understand the Ukrainian-Russia military and economic situation. He says, and I quote, Putin and Russia are in big economic trouble, and this is the time for Ukraine to act, he added, labeling Russia as a paper tiger. Zelensky hailed the big shift in Trump's position and, speaking to reporters in the UN building, said he understood the US was willing to give Ukraine security guarantees after the war is finished. Meanwhile, Syrian President Ahmed al-Shara became the first representative of Syria to address world leaders at the United Nations General Assembly for almost 60 years. Al-Shara became the interim president of Syria in January after he led rebel offensives that overthrew Bashar al-Assad. Syria was reclaiming its rightful place among the nations of the world. Al-Shara said in his address. He also said Syria stood firmly with the people of Gaza, but did not address the sectarian violence that had broken out in parts of Syria since he took power. And that's the much we can take on the Globe this week. Stay for the continuation of the news. I am Serafina Okon.
And for updates on the sporting arena, let's take Sports Brief.
Nigeria's under-17 team, the Golden Eaglets, thrashed Benin Republic 4-1 in the Awafu B on the 17 championship opener. George Aga's hat-trick and David Edes' sublime goal secured the win, boosting Nigeria's title quest. The Golden Eaglets' impressive performance showcased their skills and teamwork. In Group A, Cote d'Ivoire defeated Niger Republic 2-0, while Togo and Ghana drew 1-1. Burkina Faso's Baby Stallions won 1-0 over Benin Republic. Meanwhile, the journey to the 2026 Women's African Cup of Nations WAFCON in Morocco begins this October. National teams will compete in two-legged knockout ties, with winners securing spots in the final tournament, which also serves as Africa's qualifier for the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup. The qualifiers will feature key fixtures including Angola vs Malawi, Congo vs South Africa, Tanzania vs Ethiopia, Benin vs Nigeria, and Senegal vs Cote d'Ivoire. Lastly, Nigeria's top-ranked table tennis player Kadri Haruna retains his position as the country's leading light, ranked 27th globally with 1,185 points. Haruna's consistency and skill have solidified his position as Africa's #1 table tennis player. With Sports Brief, Wayne Dogo, NTA News.
Thank you very much for watching the news at 1 p.m. on NTA Channel 5 Abuja. Do stay tuned for the rest of our programs and join us for more news updates at 7 p.m. I am Mariam Abubakar Kana. Good afternoon.